Modern women say they want husbands, but they refuse to be wives. Let's get one thing straight. They don't hate marriage. They hate what marriage requires of them. Discipline, sacrifice, duty, respect. They want the man, but reject the role. And if you think I'm exaggerating, stay close, because there are 6 brutal truths. Truths that expose why so many women are chasing rings they were never prepared to wear. 6 truths most men never see, but every man needs to know. By the end of this, you'll understand why modern women keep asking, "Where are the real men?" and why the real men have already answered, not where the fake wives are. Let's begin. Number 1, they want the title, not the transformation. They want the title, the ring, the staged proposal, the shower of likes online, the photos of white dresses and champagne toasts. But here's the truth. They don't want the transformation. Because to transform into a wife means change. It means training your mind, disciplining your emotions, accepting the weight of consistency when the feelings fade. And modern women? They don't reject marriage. They reject what it demands: submission, respect, service, duty. Those words don't feel romantic. They feel heavy. And in today's world, heavy sounds like oppression. So instead, they reach for the crown without ever touching the fire that forges it. They want the privileges of the role while keeping the freedom of the single life. They want the praise of tradition while refusing the price of it. But here's what no one dares to say. You can wear a ring without ever becoming a wife. You can hold a title without ever carrying its weight. And when that happens, marriage collapses into performance, a show for the crowd, a ceremony without substance, a crown on the head of someone who never learned the throne. Because the truth is this: a wife is not created by vows on paper. A wife is carved by sacrifice, by patience, by the long hours of choosing duty when desire fades. And the woman who rejects that? She may call herself a wife, but in reality, she is nothing more than a guest in the role, wearing a title she never earned. Marriage is not a prize at the end of your rebellion. It is the discipline that transforms both man and woman into more than they were alone. But without that transformation, the title means nothing. 2, they were told to be free, now they're empty. They were told freedom was power, to taste everything, to never settle, to let desire lead and duty wait. Sleep with whoever you want. Collect experiences. Don't give yourself until you're worshipped. And they listened. They ran the streets. They filled their 20s with chaos disguised as adventure. Drunken nights, casual flings, memories that burned bright and died fast. On the surface, it looked like power. But deep inside, it was erosion. Because freedom without boundaries doesn't fill, it empties. It strips away the soul piece by piece until the laughter grows hollow and the highlights on Instagram hide the tears in silence. And now, 30 knocks on the door. The clock they mocked begins to whisper. Suddenly the games feel tired. The flings feel shallow. The attention that once felt like power now feels like noise. So what do? They search for a man, a stable one, a grounded one, a man to sweep away the wreckage of choices they made when they thought consequences didn't exist. But here's the truth. You can't erase a past by pretending it never happened. You can't cover chaos with a white dress and call it stability. Because the man they want now, the man with presence, vision, and discipline, isn't looking for someone who spent a decade proving she needed none of those things. They were told to be free, and now they're empty, hollowed out by choices they thought were victories, longing for peace after a lifetime of practicing war. But here's the law. You can't rehearse recklessness and expect to perform responsibility, and you can't call emptiness freedom. 3, They want masculine men but demand feminine power. They say they want masculine men, men who lead, men who provide, men who protect, but in the same breath, they demand the throne, the crown, the power to rule while being ruled. They want a man who stands firm in storms, while insisting they control the weather. They want him to set the pace, while they keep the option to change the rhythm. It is a contradiction, a paradox they refuse to confront. Because true masculinity cannot be shared with someone who wants to hold both roles. You cannot say, "I don't need a man," and then cry when men stop stepping forward. You cannot demand the king's protection while tearing down the king's authority. Here's the harsh reality. The masculine cannot thrive where the feminine refuses to surrender. Strength cannot lead where pride refuses to follow. And deep down, they know this. That's why the attraction always fades. At first, they crave the man who takes charge, but when his strength confronts their need for control, resentment begins. They call him oppressive, toxic, misogynist. Not because he is wrong, but because his presence exposes their rebellion. The truth? They want a protector without yielding protection, a provider without yielding provision, a leader without yielding leadership. But here's the law. You can't be the crown and the king. You can't claim independence while demanding dependence. And you cannot demand masculine devotion while clinging to feminine rebellion. 4. They think marriage is a reward, not a responsibility. Modern women believe marriage is a prize, something handed to them for existing. They think the man is lucky, blessed to have them, honored just to stand beside them. But when you ask the question, "What do you bring?" their answers are paper thin. My presence, my peace, my vibe, my body. As if those things are rare, as if those things require sacrifice. Here's the truth they avoid. Marriage is not a medal you wear, it is a mission you serve. And missions demand preparation, discipline, training. But many modern women do none of it. They invest nothing into emotional strength. No mentorship, no spiritual grounding, no service that outlasts a mood, no sacrifice beyond what benefits them. And yet, they believe standing still makes them worthy of a crown. That because they're tired of games, a man must arrive to reward them for simply surviving their own choices. But a wife is not created by fatigue. A wife is created by formation, by patience, by consistency, by work when no one is watching. Marriage is not about what you think you deserve. It's about what you're willing to build. And if she refuses to build, if she refuses to take responsibility, then marriage becomes nothing more than a stage play, a costume of devotion with nothing beneath it. The man who understands this will not fall for the show. He will look past the title and seek the transformation, because he knows marriage is not a reward you collect. It is a responsibility you earn, and then carry every single day. 5. They trained for chaos and want peace to chase them. For years, they glorified chaos, hot girl summers, living my truth, letting the universe decide. They called it freedom. They called it healing. They called it empowerment. But what was it really? It was training. Training the mind to chase instability. Training the heart to confuse drama with love. Training the body to crave novelty instead of commitment. And now, after a decade of practice in chaos, they suddenly want peace. They suddenly want calm. They suddenly want stability to appear at their doorstep, as if peace can be summoned without preparation. But here's the reality. You cannot program yourself for destruction and then expect order to arrive as a gift. Habits carve destiny, and the habits they rehearsed for years, the restless chasing, the reckless choices, the thrill of danger over the weight of duty, Those habits do not vanish just because the clock kept moving. Now they sit in their 30s, saying they want an emotionally available husband. But the men they want, the strong, stable, disciplined men, aren't choosing women who trained themselves to resist discipline. So they're trapped. The alpha won't commit. The weak man can't provide. And the peace they beg for will not chase them, because peace belongs only to those who built the discipline to hold it. This is the brutal truth. Chaos is addictive, and when you've spent a lifetime drinking from its cup, it's not enough to say you want peace. You must become peace, and most won't, because becoming peace requires unlearning rebellion, embracing structure, and accepting responsibility. Until that day comes, they will keep searching for stability they never practiced, and all they will find is the echo of their own choices. 6. They want the man to heal what they broke. She says, "I'm ready now. I want to be a wife." But listen closely. She's not ready. She's just tired. Tired of the games she chose. Tired of the men she followed. Tired of the wounds she never healed. And now, she wants a savior, not a partner, not a teammate, a savior. She expects a man to step into the wreckage of her past and rebuild her into the woman she refused to become herself. She wants him to erase her poor choices, to validate her baggage, to lift the weight she placed on her own shoulders, and to do it all with a smile, as if devotion is enough to replace discipline. But here's the brutal law. A man cannot heal what she refuses to face. No husband can erase years of rebellion. No ring can transform scars into strength. No promise can replace the sacrifice she never made. Marriage is not a hospital. It is not a recovery program. It is not a sanctuary for unfinished work. If she enters the bond expecting him to fix her chaos, the marriage is doomed before it begins. Because healing cannot be outsourced. It must be earned, alone, in silence, in the discipline of sacrifice. The strong man knows this. He does not bend under her tears. He does not play savior to her self-inflicted wounds. He does not confuse her desire for relief with readiness for responsibility. Because he understands, love is not about repairing her. Love is about building together once the repair is done. And until she learns that truth, she is not ready to be a wife. She is only ready to be rescued. But the real men, the men with vision, presence, and discipline, they are not rescuers, they are builders, and they will not trade their mission for her mess. Modern women don't want marriage. They want a trophy at the end of their rebellion. A crown without the weight, a title without the training. But here's the law. You cannot shame men for demanding values you refuse to live. You cannot weaponize your past and expect a builder to carry it. You cannot call marriage a finish line for your fading prime and demand a king to kneel at a throne you never earned. Wives are not born. They are forged, and pride has made too many unteachable. So they keep asking, where are the real men? And the real men keep answering, not where the fake wives are. Subscribe to the Stoic architect. Return, rewire, rise,